Downtown violence disrupting a homeless encampment near City Hall this morning. What St. Louis leaders are doing in response.
And I'm going over the northern lights and if we're going to be able to see them again tonight.
Sometimes children get involved in things that mom and dad can't control.
A Hazelwood teenager accused of critically beating a classmate facing calls to stand trial as an adult. We'll break down the level of punishment she could face. Today in St. Louis, Weekend Edition starts right now.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Well, wake up, St. Louis. Right now, you are getting a live look at the Gateway Arch. How beautiful is that sunrise there?
Stunning.
Just creeping in on us. We
Beautiful.
appreciate that to start our weekend. Good morning to you. It is Saturday, May 11th. I'm Travis Cummings.
And I'm Tracy Hinson. Mercedes McKay has the weekend off.
Yeah.
And Travis, I already checked in with you because it was, the talk of the town, but you were asleep.
I was asleep.
You were asleep.
I missed it all, so fill us in.
Resting up for you all, but man, it was beautiful. I'll have a few different pictures throughout the morning here. But we saw the northern lights.
Aww.
The pictures that you're going to see out there are not going to be quite what your eyes saw. So this view from Riri and Dave in Florissant, Missouri, you can see a couple of the beams here, the pillars. But for the most part, if you were just looking at this view with the naked eye, it's going to kind of look like a little bit of a shade. Sometimes you'd see shades of green, shades of purple, shades of pink out in the sky. It was harder to see the pillars. You could a little bit with the naked eye, but really the pictures are going to be much better of it. Now for tonight, the good news is we do have another shot at seeing that. It's hard to actually forecast a geomagnetic storm like what that is. Basically little explosions from the sun that make their way all the way to us here on Earth and kind of create that reaction. 55 degrees for us overnight tonight, mostly clear. Hard to say if we'll have just as spectacular of a northern light show as we did last night, but I'm hoping so for all of you who missed it. Winds were nice and light. I didn't even have to stay up too late to watch it last night. I was up at about 9:30 to 10 o'clock when I had beautiful views. 56 degrees for us, winds out of the west-northwest at about 8 miles an hour this morning.
Thank you for that first look, Tracy. This morning, St. Louis aldermen are emphasizing professional mental and medical personnel. It comes on the heels of a deadly downtown shooting involving a police officer. It happened just steps away from City Hall yesterday morning, right next to a homeless encampment. Our Annie Crawl shows us what's become of that encampment and how city leaders are responding to the shooting.
On his way to work downtown, Aaron Laxton was sitting in his car around 7:30 Friday morning when he heard the sound of gunshots, also captured on his car's dash cam. Turning the corner onto 14th Street, he called 911.
City of St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, 911, Brittany.
Yeah, there's someone shooting. Someone just shot about like 20 shots down by City Hall.
That's when I pulled around and saw one of the individuals laying in the street.
After this shooting, Mayor Tashara Jones's office released a statement that safety was their top priority.
Gun violence happens everywhere throughout St. Louis, and that's why it's a citywide problem. It's a regional problem, not just certain pockets of the city.
Since it happened at the intersection of Market and 14th Street, where a large homeless encampment has been, people will no longer be allowed to congregate near City Hall. But as of Friday evening, the encampment didn't go far. It's moved across the street. 14th Ward Alderman Rasheen Aldridge supports having more homeless encampments throughout St. Louis.
Making sure that these encampments that are popping up, once they get too far gone, like how do we protect the area? But at the same time, putting up the barricades only just move our unhoused to another location. It's not really figuring out the solution. It's just moving them to another place in another spot.
In the last year, fellow St. Louis Alderman Joseph Vollmer says shootings and encampments like these in the heart of downtown are wearing on tourism opportunities.
I believe the Stiefel Center had a graduation ceremony. How do you think those folks, this is one of the highlights of your life, and you're coming down to a scene where someone was killed just hours before. It's unfortunate.
Annie Crawl, 5 on your side.
Well, this morning, St. Louis police are looking for the gunman in a fatal shooting on the city's north side. Police were called to North Garrison near Hebert, that's in the Jeff Vanderloot neighborhood, just after 4 yesterday afternoon. A man was found shot in the abdomen and he died at the scene. There have not been any arrests so far. This is the city's 61st homicide this year. Right now, a man accused of stealing a car with a child inside is in jail. Police say early Thursday morning, Stephen Dunn stole the car from a mobile gas station in Brentwood. There he is on that camera shot there. About half an hour later, they found the 2-year-old child unharmed in Clayton. Now, the car was later located in Peevely. Dunn is being held on charges including child kidnapping and stealing a motor vehicle. This morning, the 15-year-old Hazelwood student accused of severely beating a classmate will not stand trial as an adult. 5 on Your Side has been following this story for months now. The victim, 16-year-old Kaylee Gain, has been recovering with traumatic brain injuries since early March. Our Christine Byers was in the courtroom for that hearing. She explains why the recommendation comes as no surprise to many legal experts.
Cell phone video of the March 8th attack went viral, prompting politicians and people across the country to call for Maurice Decloux to be charged as an adult.
When you have teens who should know better, who do know better, and they're committing adult crimes, there needs to be adult punishment.
But Decloux's attorney Greg Smith says juvenile authorities base decisions on whether to certify a minor as an adult on a juvenile's character and history, not just the act committed by a person with a juvenile brain.
Sometimes children get involved in things that mom and dad can't control. That's why we have juvenile courts, and that's why she should stay in juvenile court.
The deputy juvenile officer in charge of the investigation said in court today that her main reason for recommending Decloux remain in the juvenile system is because Decloux has no history of violence. In court today, the officer confirmed the police report showed Kaylee Gain threw the first punch before Decloux critically injured her. The judge denied the motion to have her sent home on house arrest, so she will remain in juvenile detention until further notice. During the hearing, Decloux's Spanish teacher and mother testified in her defense. Decloux wept as her mother tearfully told the judge her daughter never intended to hurt Kaylee as bad as she did and prayed for her recovery. Kaylee Gain's family attorney Brian Kammerer read the family's victim impact statement to reporters.
A terrible choice was made by 2 teenage girls to solve their issues through violence. This caused one of them to go too far with her bare hands in a concrete road.
Christine Byers, 5 on Your Side.
The judge says he'll rule on whether Decloux should be certified as an adult in the coming weeks. Well, a major road closure could affect your weekend plans if you live in the Metro East. Right now, the westbound 55, 64 lanes and ramps leading to the Poplar Street Bridge are closed to traffic. It's all part of IDOT's resurfacing project. You can use alternative routes like the Stan Musial Memorial Bridge and McKinley Bridge. All lanes are expected to reopen by 5 Monday morning.